Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about Santorini, also known as Thera. It's an island in Greece, about 200 kilometers south of the mainland, so maybe 250 south of Athens itself, and a little bit south of the island group called the Cyclades, which include Paros and Naxos. And as many people know, Santorini is this absolutely gorgeous crater-shaped, caldera-shaped island, and that's all because of a massive eruption called the Minoan eruption, which you can take a look at the Wikipedia article later if you get a little background on that from thousands and thousands of years ago. Considered one of the largest, most powerful, most destructive volcanic eruptions ever to happen. And many people associate the myth, as far as we know, the myth of Atlantis as being the lost city that went down with the eruption at the Minoan eruption at that time. So what's going on now? If we look at the USGS website and we see what's been happening just in the past day around the world, of course, they have this great website. You can see the link in the description below. They're actually just ticked up on us, didn't it? Earthquakes are happening. And if we zoom in a little bit here, we see Crete, and we see, just go out one more. There, we've got this really nice shot of Greece here coming down Athens. And like I said, these are the Cyclades, Paros, and Naxos. I've actually been to both of those, and I've been over here to Samos once, and I've been once up to Corfu over here. All beautiful places. Santorini's always been on my bucket list, want to go there. But we've got some issues now. There have been hundreds of what they call an earthquake swarm, tremors, mild earthquakes, and more recently some that are not as mild. If we zoom in one more time here, we can see exactly where this swarm is occurring. And again, this is just the past day. There are 22 of the 44 earthquakes that are currently being tracked above 2.5 that are right here in this map. Oops, a little responsive there, that scroll. So let's just go in and get a really close look at what we have. What you can see here is the actual island of Thera, Santorini. And this is the new caldera. This has been growing for thousands of years, since that Minoan eruption. And people flock to Santorini by the millions each year. There are only 15,000 people that live in Santorini, but there are 3.4 million visitors every year. And, you know, from the videos that we've been showing here a little bit as we go through this video, you can see this island here where Thera is, this part of it, is super steep. I think it's almost 2,000 feet high. And it offers incredible views. I mean, you saw in the movies there, this is an absolutely gorgeous place to go. It faces west, you get amazing sunsets, you have this sheer drop off. But why is that? Because this is a caldera. This is the crater that was left by that massive eruption. And just for size, if we look at the maps here just to see, I've done this other map where you can look at the size of how big it is, 6 miles around this entire area here. And then if we look at Mount St. Helens, it's only about 3 miles around. So this thing is probably, or I should say radius, a 6-mile radius versus a 3-mile radius for the base of Mount St. Helens. And it's just a massive, massive place. And this swarm of earthquakes over here, as you can see, 4.3, 4.1, 4.6, all of these are over 4, not just over 2.5. These are all over 4. Now, there have been hundreds of these in the last few days. So if we look at the 7 days, what you actually get to see now, the legend over here, 85 earthquakes I'm guessing, it says 2.5 earthquakes remote, but the list here shown, they're all over 4. So pretty significant stuff with a couple over 5, as you can see. So this swarm, a significant occurrence here, just northeast of Santorini. Schools are closed. About 3,000 or 4,000 of the 15,000 residents have evacuated the island. They did have some trouble for a few days dealing with some high winds and heavy seas. Not that easy to get people off the island. Some tourists are still there, and they say from interviews I've been watching is that they don't look like they're going to come back until they get an all clear from the government agency that is overseeing this event right now. Now, was there a big event and then aftershocks? No. In this case, this is different. In many cases, you have an unpredicted large-scale event, and then afterwards you have dozens or hundreds or even thousands of mini shocks, aftershocks that come. What we're seeing now is we're having all this this swarm of events, of seismic events, small earthquakes to mid-size. I mean, I would say a 4.6, a 5 is pretty hefty already. I've been in California once when we lived there, where we had a 7.0 that was out near Barstow, Victorville. And I'm telling you, that made me feel like the entire apartment was moving. Kids said, "Dad, Dad, the bed's shaking." I got up to go to the kids' room, and I felt like I was drunk trying to walk around. So 5 is probably still pretty reasonable, but I think it's important that we don't underestimate what could be happening here. So once again, this is something that we're monitoring really closely. It's one of the top travel destinations in Europe. Like I said, for such a tiny place, just a few miles across, we're talking about 3.4 million visitors per year. And hopefully we won't get another large-scale event. There are so many properties that are built literally right on the edge of cliffs here, and they're built out of stone, and we all know how that goes. Now, I know modern building standards are a little better in this regard. Hopefully there's plenty of rebar reinforcement, given that they were built on Santorini, given the knowledge of the seismic nature. But yeah, really tough time right now for the local people to deal with this and hope that their homes aren't destroyed. And we will monitor this and see what's going on. Santorini's definitely on my bucket list. Like I said, been to 4 or 5 different islands in Greece already. Really love it there. People are great. The food is great. But there is this one issue to deal with, and that's the earthquakes, especially around Santorini. And we'll just hope that this subsides and we don't have another large-scale event. So that's what I've got for you now. We're going to continue to monitor this, and we'll see you next time. Take care now. Bye.